Live, local, from WPTV, this is News Channel 5 at 5:30. Local coverage you can count on.
Happening at 5:30 tonight, an investigation underway into why Fort Pierce Police Chief Diane Hobley Burney was placed on administrative leave. Today, the chief talked to News Channel 5 about that investigation.
Jacqueline Powell is live in Fort Pierce to tell us what they're looking into. Jacqueline.
Well, Jay, Shannon, the Fort Pierce Police Department wants to stress that this investigation into the chief has nothing to do with the investigation into an officer-involved shooting that happened earlier this year. It has everything to do with this letter that was written by a special investigator for the police department voicing complaints to city commissioners about the chief. Across town, many had this response to Police Chief Diane Hobley Burney being placed on administrative leave.
Yeah, it's surprising. It's very surprising.
In this letter, former special investigator Borthlin Murray accused Hobley Burney of threatening a citizen, ignoring false workman's comp claims, allowing officers under investigation to stay in the field, and putting the department at risk of losing its accreditation. Still, Fort Pierce residents tell us they like what Hobley Burney's done in her 13 months as chief, and they hope for a fair investigation.
Talk to her too, so you can have both sides of the story.
Fort Pierce's city manager told us last night he's doing exactly that.
When there are allegations of this nature, then we have to investigate. We owe it to our community to get down to the roots of the situation.
Hobley Burney spoke with a News Channel 5 reporter earlier today. She said she's heartbroken that someone she trusted put her in this situation. But she says she's putting it in God's hands. And she also wants to assure the public that the investigation into her as chief will have no impact on the ongoing investigation into the officer-involved shooting that killed DeMarcus Seamer in April. City leaders say Hobley Burney is handling all of this gracefully. Meanwhile, Chief Deputy Kenny Norris will serve as interim chief, and the police department sent out this statement. The Fort Pierce Police Department wants citizens to know that officers remain ready to provide police services in any way needed, and that the department's efforts to build relationships within the community will continue. Well, the city manager's office says there's no timeline for this investigation, so the Fort Pierce Police Department will operate under an interim chief until it's finished. Reporting live in Fort Pierce, Jacqueline Powell, WPTV News Channel 5.